Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to Gretchen's Vegan Bakery. I am going to show you how to make this cake. Alright, so let me just tell you what sets this cake aside from your ordinary, boring peanut butter cupcake that I'm sure you're used to seeing, which is just plain old chocolate cake filled with peanut butter buttercream and then garnished with like a few peanut butter cups, right? Like how boring is that? This cake is not that. This cake has the authentic copycat recipe for the actual Reese's peanut butter cup filling with layers of ganache, so it's almost like you have this gigando Reese's peanut butter cup in each layer of this cake. Now I did use some peanut butter buttercream to finish it off, and it really did tie together this whole cake perfectly. And of course, no drip cake is complete without slathering on that ganache for that signature drip that we all love so much. So check out how easy it is. Alright, it's not that easy. It is going to take you a couple of hours to pull this off because it is a building on recipes where we need to make chocolate cake, buttercream recipe, the peanut butter patty, we need to make the ganache, and of course if you're going to go the whole 9 yards, you're going to make your peanut butter cups for garnish too. So be patient, give yourself some time, but it's really simple to pull off with my step-by-step tutorial, and let's get right to it. So just real quick guys, if you are not yet subscribed here to my channel, I really hope that you will so you can be the first to get all of my awesome cakes and recipes. My blog at gretchensveganbakery.com is where you will go to get all the written printable recipes, and this is all for free. All I ask is that you subscribe here and of course join me over on Facebook too. There are over 500,000 people getting in on the best vegan dessert action ever over on Facebook, so be sure to join in that. Okay, so let's get to this recipe. As I mentioned, this is a building on recipes project, so you have to get your base recipes prepared in advance, and that will be the best vegan chocolate cake recipe you'll ever try. And it is so simple. It's a 1 bowl mix, and you don't even need a mixer. Just throw it all in there and whisk it up. And then I do have a habit of baking my cake layers into 7-inch pans because I like the 3-layer look, but if you only have 8-inch pans, that's totally fine. You will get 2 thicker layers of cake, and then of course you can just trim those up into 4 smaller layers for a 4-layer cake, so that's not a bad idea. Alright, so we've got the cake baked. Next you're going to have to make your buttercream recipe, and I do have about 5 different recipes you can choose from for buttercream on my blog, from aquafaba Swiss meringue style to the super easy American style that I'm actually using here. I am terribly lazy in my old age, so I almost always opt for the American style recipe. We are putting an addition of peanut butter powder to the end of the mixing of that buttercream. Not only does it make the buttercream super stable, but it also eliminates the added fat from using the straight up jarred creamy peanut butter variety. But of course, if that's all you have, it's totally fine to use that, and I do write more about that on the blog post. Next up, the peanut butter cups. Now this part is actually optional since it really is just for garnishing the cake at the end. However, even if you decide not to make those, you will still have to make this filling because it's also the filling for the cake. I will link to the full tutorial on how to make these peanut butter cups, and that'll be in the description box below this video. Now, I'm not even cleaning the bowl from the buttercream recipe that I just made so that I can go ahead and make the peanut butter filling for the cake. Really, you're just adding those 3 ingredients and you're just gonna mix it all up. And this filling includes the graham cracker crumbs, which is really what makes it so unique and exactly like what you remember a Reese's peanut butter cup to be. You can see how much more like a dough it is than like a creamy filling, and I do love that texture contrast in this cake. So again, it is more like a dough to the point that you can literally roll it out as I'm doing here. And this is what turns this cake into the real deal peanut butter cup cake. But I'm getting way ahead of myself. Before we get there, we just have one more recipe to make, and that is the super easy ganache. With just 2 ingredients, you have yourself a perfectly decadent filling, as well as the icing for this cake. Don't forget those signature cake drips. Okay, so now that we have everything we need to build this cake, let's just sit back and enjoy the show. You may have to trim your cake layers slightly like I did so that they are all even and the same size. I am putting a ring of that peanut butter buttercream to hold in a thin layer of ganache. Now this ganache not only acts as the chocolate coating that the peanut butter patty filling is nestled into, but it also acts as some glue to hold all of these components together. Otherwise, it could become a pretty slippery cake to build, which is also why I'm refrigerating each layer before adding on another, just to get it kind of firm and cold before piling more weight on top. Another layer of ganache, and then keep on going with another peanut butter patty and more ganache again. The last layer of cake goes on top, and then again refrigerate it before you do the final icing, just to kind of get it firm and set. Now, I know I kind of sort of dissed the peanut butter buttercream in the beginning of this video, but since it's not just the filling, well, you already saw how much better this cake is with the peanut butter patty filling, and so the peanut butter buttercream icing just really ties this all together. Now, this is a pro tip to getting perfectly spaced rosettes for each portion, and I did that into 12 pieces. And then the ganache addition on top with those perfect drips we all love so much. The homemade peanut butter cups for the win, and I'm not kidding you when I say win. This is one rich, decadent cake. The cake itself is super moist, and the filling is like biting into real deal Reese's peanut butter cups, only gigantic. And I will admit though that I do prefer eating this cake cold, but it doesn't have to be refrigerated if you don't want to. And I do always have that information, storage and handling, on the written blog post at Gretchen'sVeganBakery.com, so don't forget to head over there to grab all of that stuff. And I really hope that you like this video. If so, don't forget to thumb me up. Definitely comment below. I love reading your comments. And as always, a special thank you to my patrons on Patreon and my pals in PayPal for the continued support to keep this channel going. So if you think you can help for as little as $1 a month, click the links below to find out how. All right, well, thanks everyone, and thanks for watching and commenting and liking and subscribing, and until next time, happy vegan baking. Bye for now.